go to the Cardinals. James Conner won it week 1. It's going to be James Conner again, right?
Let's go, baby.
Eno Benjamin. Say it again with me. Eno Benjamin. Eno. E-N-O. That is why we do it. Oh, that gets me out of bed in the morning. And guys, boom. It's Trey Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
You can't make it up. You cannot imagine. Look, he is our Wile E. Coyote. He is a jobber. He is our Brooklyn Brawler. We love that he keeps getting back up. But my God, if we were a different show in a different segment, we could make a whole-ass mixtape of him, but we won't. We do a lot of things in Angry Runs, but we never forget about Dre. Back to Eno. How good is this? Oh, Peter, tell us your whole dossier about Eno Benjamin.
Arizona State, so he played locally. 7th round pick. They lose Chase Edmonds. Cliff Kingsbury says, Eno, get in the game and go run over Drake Kirkpatrick.
Woo! It's not Benjamin Eno. It's Eno Benjamin. And we got to leave Chris McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. Eno Benjamin might be getting this thing. But, wait.
He deserves it. He deserves it.
They know what time it is. Who gets the scepter?
As good of an angry run as you get.
Eno. I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since I've seen somebody get ran over like that. I'm taking it all the way back to Adrian Peterson against the Steelers. Boom, and kept running. That's amazing. And he got a touchdown for 6. Eno, great job, man. You deserve it. Angry runs.
This thing's going to the desert. Guys, we got 2 running backs with the Cardinals who have a scepter. We got Connor and we got, learn his name, Eno Benjamin one more time. Shady, I love it. Adams, Peter, excellent job. If you want this thing, you know where to get it. Now come and take it. Angry Runs, boom. See you next week.
And we are live. Welcome to the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing. Joining me today, I've got 2 spectacular co-hosts joining me. Why don't you 2 introduce yourselves?
What's up? My name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at JSanDiego.
Yo, what up? I'm Mac, and you can find me on Twitter at AZSportsFien. That's F-I-E-N. And we're here to talk about the Cardinals' beatdown of that team in San Francisco, I guess Santa Clara. But no Kyler, no D-Hop, no A.J. Green, no problem. So we're here to break it down and look forward to this week's matchup.
Santa Claus, Santa Clara, don't matter. Cardinals by Oh my Lord!
Cardinals by 14.
14. But I mean, it was never that close.
Yeah.
We took our foot off the gas, and it was really funny, like seeing the Niners play at the very end with such little urgency. Like until like the final minute, they played with no urgency whatsoever. It was like watching like a Wilkes era game for us.
They burned all their timeouts with like 4 minutes left.
Yeah, I mean, it was. And I mean, I heard so much. I mean, going into this week, there was just so much shade thrown on the Cardinals. Oh, the Cardinals have all their second stringers. We have everybody we need back. We're going to demolish the Cardinals, said the Niners fans. And what happened? What happened, guys?
They got teabagged.
Exactly.
By
Right
Colt
from the
McCoy.
beginning.
By Colt McCoy. And it wasn't even him, really. It was James Conner. James Conner with an electric performance. 3 touchdowns. That's right. Count them. 3 tutties. 96 yards. Almost broke 100 yards. Had himself a game. Guys, what did you guys think of James Conner's electrifying performance?
Well,
I think he got snubbed for an NFC Player of the Week.
Who did get it?
Yeah.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Exactly.
And then on top of that, James Conner took over the pass catching role because Chase Edmonds got hurt, first play of the game that he was in there. And so Conner finished with 5 catches, 77 yards. One of those touchdowns was a reception. And I don't know about you guys, but I know he's more of a power back, but he looked light on his feet, I thought, on Sunday. He was cruising out there.
Yeah, he had himself a game, and to see him cover that much ground on a Cardinal screen, like, I was watching the game with my dad. He was like, I haven't seen a running back from the Cardinals do a screen that gracefully since Marcel Shipp. That's what he said. Going real old school there.
Interesting.
He kind of remind me of like prime David Johnson a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, he had himself a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're hiding the lead here. I know Bo Bobbles is just in anticipation waiting for us to talk about this. Freaking Benjamin coming in and running over Drake Kirkpatrick and getting his first touchdown. That was a thing of beauty right there. I know we all love that.
Stuff of legends.
Out with the old and in with the new. That is exactly what happened there, man. And it's just so symbolic that it is Dre Kirkpatrick on the receiving end of that, because he cost us so much shit last year. That dude cost us the fucking season. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was a very coming full circle moment.
It was nice. I can't even say it was cathartic, because it's like, with catharsis, there's pain. No, it was just nice.
Mm-hmm.
It also just shows how deep we are. This has got to be the deepest Cardinals team. Chase Edmonds leaves. Eno comes in, and Eno will fill that role like Chase, but he's willing to drop his shoulder on you. And then we also saw Max Garcia, Justin Pugh leave the game. And up front, they didn't miss a beat. You had Sean Harlow coming in and Josh Jones going to right guard. So yeah, this just shows how deep of a friggin' team we are everywhere, and it's unbelievable. I mean, what the Niners rushed for 39 yards. So it's like, we were all worried about, big juggernaut rushing team, no JJ Watt, and they all held their own. I mean, from top down, this was just a whole team effort. Couldn't be happier. I mean, we talked about it before. It's just, these podcasts are just better when we have these type of games. And I know it's been a long week for me at work and everything. My weekdays are crazy. So I'm just glad to be here with you guys talking Cardinals, like fucking loving it right now.
And we love to have you, man. It is so nice.
This is awesome.
The funny thing is, it's like, I was looking, like, just at like the first drive of this game, I was like, oh no. Because like that first drive was scary. Let's talk about that real quick. So he's like running for his life out there, throws a jump ball into double coverage to Darrell Daniels. I tweeted out, like, literally after that first drive, okay, so this game's gonna be like a defensive battle, isn't it? And I've never been so glad to be wrong. Oh my god, that was so nice.
And then after that, so we started with a punt. This is how our next possessions went. Touchdown, touchdown, field goal, halftime, touchdown, touchdown, fucking game over.
I mean, it's so nice, man. It is so nice for them to be there. I'm gonna say that a lot because I'm happy. And Niners fans, again, I fucking hate beating this drum, but I love doing it. Niners fans I saw some of them like, yo, yeah, you guys got lucky, and it's like, lucky. All of those turnovers were forced. Kittle has the ball smacked out of his hands as he's being hurdled, and I mean, it's just, you can't say anything other than this was a great team effort by one of the deepest teams in football.
Yeah, we fired on all cylinders with backups.
Right.
With our backups.
I mean,
Antoine Wesley coming in, getting some big catches. He looks good out there too. He looks the role.
That little reverse with Kirk throwing it down the field, like, I was so fucking hyped, man. Holy shit!
Yeah, we pulled up stops for that.
Honestly, the ref robbed him. I think that was a tutty. He got robbed, and I was robbed of fantasy points. So fuck that ref.
I lost. I lost by 2, and I had Christian Kirk, so I'd have won that. So
fuck the Niners, fuck the refs, and fuck myself for starting Edmonds over Connor.
Hey, I'm pretty sure we saw the same play or something similar in preseason, and I thought, man, I can't wait to see that executed in the regular season because it was just so smooth. Especially like the fake like throw where he like flips it behind his back, like
right
smooth. Like it got me.
And the best thing about this kind of offense with this much play variety, I lamented some earlier in this year and some plenty last year that the play variety and just the overall offense that we were sold looked nothing like what we were promised, that we were given looked nothing like what we promised. And now we're seeing it come to fruition. When you are planning against the Cardinals, you have no idea what you're going to get. You could have a reverse that's run by Christian Kirk, thrown down for 40 yards. You can have, read options every other play. You could have like just insane amounts of potential for this team. And it is so cool to talk about this team in that sense, especially since 3 years earlier, I was talking about god awful, god awful Steve Wilkes games. It is so nice to have that kind of change of pace.
I just want the record to be known, but Bobbles, if you're keeping record over there, it only took Will 8 minutes to complain about starting the wrong player in fantasy this week. So that's a new record, folks. We're we're jumping up. I think last week it took like 25. So can't wait to see what happens next week.
I'll make it
He's
in the
gonna
next
open it up.
And we are live. I started Christian Kirk. Please bury me in a ditch. But let's talk about
what can't Christian Kirk do though. That guy has in his fourth year.
Next question.
Yeah, but I mean he's having himself a hell of a year. I mean, who would have thought 9 weeks in, more than the halfway point, he'd be leading this team in receptions? You know, like
not me.
No, and he's caught. I know I posted this yesterday, but he's caught 83.3% of those targets, which is number one in the NFL out of anybody, any of the 74 players who've been targeted at least 41 times, and his 11.4 yards per target, which means it's not just screenplays and whatnot, like kind of what they do with Rondell, but his 11.4 yards per target is tied with Jamar Chase for fourth in all the NFL. So, I mean, I know it's a contract year for Christian Kirk, so that's a motivating factor, but tip of the cap to him. He's having a hell of a year so far.
He's having a hell of a year, and let's talk about another man who's having a hell of a year and who had a hell of a game against the Niners. Marcus Golden. Do you guys think, under any circumstances, that he could be a dark horse defensive player of the year?
Oh,
dark horse for sure, but unfortunately, I don't think he's that big of a name to actually get the recognition he deserves.
I mean, the best players, some of the best players never really are,
Yeah.
Right now they probably give it to Myles Garrett or whatnot, just big name recognition.
Big name, yeah.
Like Aeneas Williams would never get the recognition over like Dion, but I'm sure plenty of Cardinals fans, if they had it their way, would still go Aeneas.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you say about Marcus Golden as well? This is from Gowan Season on Twitter, not Hawk. Last 4 games, Marcus Golden 7 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 0 media attention, kind of like what you guys are talking about. But I mean, for what he's getting paid and what he's here to do, there's no way he can complain. And he's making Hassan Reddick an afterthought, and Hassan Reddick's having a heck of a year. And we'll be seeing him this week when Panthers come to town. The Sam Darnold-less Panthers.
Marcus Golden's having himself a year. He's on a contract year. But he's one of those guys I could see taking a pay cut because, even
he loves it here.
Prior to this, he loves it. It is so rare to see somebody who's like, I actually really love being in Phoenix. I love everything about this when they're coming here. Like, I want to come back here. Like, I can think of Steve Nash, Goran Dragic. That's about it. I mean, short list, but
yeah, I'm very short list. I can't think of anybody else, but you're right.
And even
he's a fan favorite too. Drafted by us, left, coming back, and just listening to him speak in his interviews, he makes you want to run through a wall. He'd be like the great teammate that you love to play with, across from. And I know he pushes all those guys up front too in the D line, and they played a hell of a game this Sunday, following his lead.
Yeah, there's very few complaints I do have about this game. I mean, the first drive, but I mean that's barely a complaint. And my second complaint's really minor, but whenever Strevler's in the game, it's a dead giveaway to what the play call is going to be. We always know it's going to be a QB sneak, and I really kind of wish they'd run a play action or something with him. It'd be fun. Mm-hmm. But I mean, when you're winning and you've got this kind of shit going on, I mean, it's just entirely an afterthought. So I mean, it's who cares?
Exactly.
But special shout out. This is not an endorsement. I just love the shit to Cromer's Popcorn for fucking getting us that dub. Just a reminder, I am undefeated while eating some variety of pop or kettle corn this year. So if you don't want to donate to my popcorn,
popcorn on.
Or I will deliberately curse this team so I can have more to complain about.
You shut the hell up.
And one thing that I haven't really heard get talked about too is that Dennis Gardeck is just waiting in the wings right now too. They haven't unleashed him. He's only played 15 snaps last 2 weeks combined, And over that span, or 15 defensive snaps, he's played on special teams too, but he's got 3 solo tackles, 5 combined tackles, a tackle for loss, a QB hit. So, I mean, if anyone gets hurt up front, we got depth still there. So, I can't wait to see what the second half of this season holds.
And if anybody's hungry, it's him, man. He was having himself a hell of a year last year.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah, for sure.
But man, I mean, it was just a complete perfect game. I mean, I thought that this Arizona Cardinals team fired on all cylinders. Colt McCoy had a near perfect day. What did you guys think of that? What did you guys think of his performance?
What do you think, Jackie?
Yeah, what was it, 22 of 26 passes, and he looked pretty solid, and I can't complain. That's exactly what you want out of your backup, is just you can come in, you can perform solid. He was even scrambling, making plays downfield,
Yeah, how could you not be
checked all the
impressed?
boxes.
The best. I mean, he's the best player to ever wear the number 12. I can't think of any others.
Yeah, no, definitely best number 12 out there.
Tom Brady, he doesn't have a 84% completion percentage on the year. I'm sorry, sweetie.
The crazy thing is that he was 22-26 for 247 yards or something like that, which is still almost 10 yards a target. Which, I mean, he wasn't just dinking and dunking. He took shots downfield. Took that shot to Christian Kirk for that 50-yard bomb. That was a reception. But his QBR that game, to think he can be as efficient and good as he was, and not turn the ball over. He finished 119 QBR. And just put it in perspective, would be this season the 5th highest on the Cardinals. That just shows how good Kyler Murray's been, right? Like I had to double check that when I saw that today. I was like, God damn. So, but it's nice that Colt was able to get in there. You know, he looked comfortable to be making his first passes, and I mean, I don't even know if he took snaps last year or not, but to come in and look like the way he did, I think you got to also give credit to Cliff too. I mean, Colt has been in the league for a while, but there's still things I heard him talking on the radio where he's still learning every day. And so I know Cliff has been a really good influence on him as well. He kind of reminds me of some of those QBs outside of Patrick Mahomes that Cliff had at Texas Tech. They weren't really the fast, mobile guys like Kyler Murray. They're more kind of pocket guys, get the ball out, but can also take their shots deep. So, I mean, there's not much else you can say about that. That's a hell of a win for a backup to come in here. And who knows? What's the update today on Kyler Murray? Is he looking like I heard he said he's crazy. He's advancing pretty crazily right now. He's feeling good.
I've heard that he does think he'll be playing. Like both him and Colt think he'll be playing on Sunday. But the way that Colt played over this weekend, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to letting Colt take the wheel once again and letting him.
Oh yeah.
Because I would so much rather have a 100% ready Colt right now than a Kyler Murray who could get injured on any play that goes awry, especially with that Panthers D line. But
yeah, and we shouldn't need Kyler in there to be able to win this game. The Panthers are going to be starting PJ Walker. He was the XFL stud a couple of years ago, but he just has not found himself in the NFL. He's 3 for 15 on passing attempts this year. So, and I know he's like one TD, like 4 INTs in his career. So it should be another field day. And like I agree with you guys that Colt McCoy, if Kyler's not 100%, run him back out there again. This is what you got him for.
I'm going to channel Stephen Smith here, talking about Kwame Brown. PJ Walker is a bona fide scrub. And I 100% believe that this Cardinals team can and will beat the Panthers this week. They're spoiling my prediction here and now. This Panthers team is awful this year. I mean, oh God.
Offense is awful, but they have a pretty solid defense. They're top 10 in points per game and yards.
doesn't.
So
I mean,
that
but
they
that
can get
doesn't
after
matter.
it a little bit.
That
No, that
doesn't.
offense is awful.
That
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you can't do anything on offense. I live in Carolina. I listened to the radio this week so I could like hear what
It's all
Panthers
doom
fans
and gloom.
and the media were saying. Here's my little field report. So Carolina media basically said that Carolina didn't have a plan outside of Christian McCaffrey this week, and that the Cardinals should. And I took from that the Cardinals needed to plan against him because last time he made our days hell.
Mhm.
I had that, expected a lot of tipped passes with Darnold, but that doesn't apply because PJ Walker. Well, it still does. PJ Walker's 5'11".
Oh wow.
If Kyler Murray and PJ Walker start, it'll be a battle of the small fries. But
Yeah, I mean, even with Sam Darnold in there, they were 29th in the league in yards per attempt, pass attempt, and 31st in passing TDs. And the Cardinals are fourth best in the NFL, giving up like 5 point. I have it here somewhere. 5 point something yards, giving up 5.6 yards per pass, net yards per pass. So that's definitely our strength versus their weakness, and their weakness even just got possibly even weaker somehow. Even though Sam Darnold, I mean, the guy had what 5 touchdowns, 10 turnovers, 10 interceptions last like 5 weeks or something.
yeah,
Something ridiculous.
if you're not already starting that Arizona defense in fantasy, you gotta do it this week. PJ Walker ain't shit.
I'm
But
choosing between that and then the Bills against the Jets, but I think I got to go Cardinals.
Yeah, we've been a very opportunistic defense.
But,
Oh yeah, the
there's
takeaways.
Yeah.
There's more to it though. So the radio station I was listening to hated Rule. They called him incompetent. They called him a liar. They said he's lost the plot. The fans are getting exhausted by it. They're like, I heard at least one person say, I might just support the hockey team for the rest of the year because this is awful. And they said that the only 2 bright spots over the weekend were Reddick and Burns is officially out Sunday. So,
Nice.
Yikes.
yeah.
Did they trade for who? They trade CJ Henderson. Did they trade for CJ
Henderson, and they got Gilmore.
I saw Gilmore has an INT in both of his games so far, so that he looks pretty decent out there from when I was watching the game. But yeah, if they're losing Burns, that's another big loss for them up front.
Yeah.
So no excuses. This is a win.
Right?
Yeah. If the Cardinals
we owe them a beat down from last year. We owe them some revenge.
Oh my god, dude, that was
awful.
I hate the Panthers. I hate them so much.
Who was that safety that started last year? Do you remember either of you? For us, that safety who got burnt every fucking play when Budo missed the game.
The guy who led up that 3rd and 30. Curtis Riley.
Curtis Riley. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that fucking guy. Yeah. Fuck that guy.
If that Sorensen guy or whatever the fuck his name is wasn't on the Chief, I'd say he's the worst defensive player in football. But Sorensen's there, so congratulations to that guy.
Yeah, kudos to him.
Daniel Sorensen, Christ. But
how'd McCaffrey do last week? What did the radio say about that? Because I
don't think he did very well.
He didn't have himself much of a game. Like I played against somebody who had him in fantasy. I mean, let's see. He had 14 carries, 52 yards, 0 tutties. So
what do you do receiving?
I mean, jack shit. I mean, the fucking Pats basically held them in check. Like the radio was saying, basically with Belichick, he'll try to take out your first option. And if you don't have a second option, you're screwed. And that Matt Rule basically game plans with McCaffrey and McCaffrey alone in mind. And if you take that away from him, he has nothing. So yeah, like let's see here, receiving. Why are you redirecting?
54 receiving yards.
54 receiving yards.
So I mean, he's their guy. They're gonna feed him, early and often, and hopefully try to get him going. But the Cardinals. Here's another stat I know a lot of people we've been talking a lot about the Cardinals defensive against the run. But this is the 3rd time in the last 4 games that the Cardinals have held their opponents to 73 yards or less on the ground. So, I mean, they're showing improvements there. It's going to be another big test against Carolina, but they don't have a ton of weapons on that side of the field. So I got faith Vance is going to dial up the right scheme this coming Sunday.
Yeah, if I remember right, the Niners had the same amount of rushing yards with their entire backfield that Eno had, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we'll dial up something for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Panthers had 240 total yards last week. McCaffrey had 106. So yeah, that's their offense right there.
Yeah.
yeah. I think that I think that Eno Benjamin's going to have himself a day. I think that no matter what happens, I think we come out of here with the dub. It'll be really, really hard to screw this up. But I'm knocking on all kinds of wood here. It's me, man.
Yeah, like we've seen stranger things happen with the Cardinals, but I feel like I'm trying to let go of my Arizona fan pessimist mentality, because I think I was telling Will, like, what did I say? Something about
This year feels different.
it does feel different. But it's like I remember like last season, like we were pretty high on the season, and then we just kind of took a nosedive. So like part of me is like still a little haunted by that, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to go in with the same mentality the Cardinals go into every single game this year, where it's like 1-0. Yeah.
Yep. Trust me, I feel that 100%.
You can always kind of tell who the team of destiny is, and it really does feel this year like it is the Cardinals. Because if it's not us, then who's it going to be? I love
Brady back to back. It's still, I mean, it's the NFL. It's we're 9 weeks in. It's hard to annoy anybody, but some of the storylines or team players or analysts still don't give the Cardinals respect. I saw SI put them fourth or something on their power poll. It's
Something
just
stupid.
It's just a BS. It's a BS narrative, and I mean, I'm sick of it. But it's a long season. All we gotta do is shut them the fuck up. Keep winning 1-0.
Or I saw plenty of like Packers fans swarming those results, and it's like, why aren't the Packers number one? It's like, you guys barely beat us. We were turned back away from being undefeated still.
Yeah, it was a muff play away from another L for you guys. So
yeah, I mean, they're taking L's left and right. I mean, A-Rod is just holy. I've never seen so much goodwill lost in like a week.
Did you guys happen to catch Jordan Love's parents at the Chiefs game?
They
were sitting next to Jesus highlight. In the
stands. It was like the very top row or something.
Very top row.
Disrespect, man. Holy hell. Speaking of which, oh my God, Jordan Love is just cheeks, man. Like, one of the worst defenses in football, and you only put up 7 points against him? Really? Good Lord. Like watching like the highlights of that game, I have never seen somebody who should be so conditioned for this. Like, he's been in the league for 3 years. He's a backup, sure, but I mean, he should still be getting reps in practice. He should be prepared for the kind of shit that happens when you're under center, but he looked fucking terrified. He looked like one of those 7th round picks who like has to come in the 4th quarter because the quarterback just went down, and they've never touched they haven't touched a football since high school.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan Love, man. Oh my God.
Poor guy. I'm sure he's a nice boy.
There's just no salvaging that.
Did you guys hear Cliff Kingsbury talk about? I just want to go back to Eno real quick before we move forward. How Eno was on like his last straw last year.
Yeah.
That was pretty interesting.
On his last leg. So I think.
And then he had the exit interview with Kime, and I guess Eno said something how it like gave him a new perspective and whatnot. So, I mean, that's a man hungry right there. You get second chance almost. I'm sure that's kind of what he feels like in the second season. And he's the guy right now. Him and James Conner are back there, and we know Cliff likes to use 2 running backs. So, I mean, I'm excited to see what is in store for him coming in the next few weeks.
Oh yeah, that man's gonna play for his life.
I know Bobby would have lost his shit if that had happened. He would have just don't even want to imagine that for him.
Yeah, I would have too, no doubt.
Yeah, because you always want to see an ASU guy succeed, especially in
someone
Arizona.
Who dominated U of A so often.
Yeah. Speaking of U of A, They got their first win in like 2 years over the weekend, and you know what it took for them to get that? It took 24 injured players for Cal, 12 coaches who were out, and they only won by 7.
Woof.
Oh man.
And that's the
Funny
last
for
time we
sure.
talk about U of A football on this podcast.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But before we move on, I do want to address Juan's question about Kyle Shanahan. Because I've
Oh,
been seeing a
yeah.
lot of Kyle Shanahan slander, and I don't talk about it publicly. Like I always talk about it with my husband, but it's like
He's the
he's
father?
not, huh?
He's the father?
Yeah, no, like he's not as smart as people think he is. Like he's not this fucking guru that everyone makes him out to be. Like he's a fraud, and now people are starting to see it.
What was
It
Juan's
is.
question again?
Some what is it? Is this the end of the Shanahan Lynch era, or are
It
they on
is.
the hot seat? Something like that.
It is really something to see how easily coaches can fail upwards in the NFL. You don't see that in any other league with the NFL, in my opinion. I mean, Adam Gase had so much goodwill tossed his way after the Miami job. Oh, he was fucked by management. He should go get a job elsewhere. And it's like he gets a job elsewhere. Oh, that's not the case. Shanahan botches the biggest game of his career and fails upward into a 49ers job. And it's like, at what point do these people just not get jobs? Why does Shanahan have the keys to the kingdom when so many other good coordinators aren't failing upwards but actually should get the job?
He's rightfully on the hot seat. It's about time. He's only had one season over 500 when they went to the Super Bowl. But
He's got
yeah,
the same winning percentage as Chip Kelly.
oh,
Alive.
that's a good one.
Matt Nagy has a better winning percentage, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
So yeah, I mean,
Cliff Kingsbury has a better winning percentage.
his time is
Exactly.
coming. His time will be coming to an end here shortly. I know he's still under contract. Him and John Lynch signed like the same extension years or whatever.
And you know
But
what? You know what's going to happen? He's going to go to Denver. He's going to get the head coaching gig there. It's never going to end.
Yeah. Just because he's a Shanahan, it's the name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If his name was Kyle Stewart, he wouldn't get the gig.
Yeah.
But, he annoys me. His play calling this weekend was just so awful. Like punting down 14 with 4 minutes left. I've never
yeah,
seen.
well,
I have
And
never
burning
seen
all
so
your
cowardly.
timeouts.
Exactly. If you're gonna burn all your timeouts, how are you gonna punt it? The fans were just booing. Like the entire stadium was booing. I mean, if I am a 49ers fan right now, I am busting out the Nike Decades because it's over, man. It is awful.
Yeah, this is a rebuild. They just need to cut their losses and it's time to rebuild.
I mean, the unintentional rebuild years are always worse than the intentional rebuild years because it's like if it's unintentional, then you got nothing to show for it. If it's intentional, you at least got the stockpile of draft picks. You got the guys who got too many minutes they can trade in the offseason for way too much more than they're worth. I mean, it's funny.
I want to give a shout out to Chandler Jones passing Freddie Joe Nunn for the official Arizona slash St. Louis slash Chicago or whatever Cardinals fucking sacks leader. It's his first sack since week 1. So it's good to see him come back from COVID, and he's pretty productive even after that sack too. So
What did you guys think?
hopefully he has a big second half.
What did you guys think of the tribute he did after that sack?
It's pretty dope.
Yep. Shout out to him.
R.I.P. Freddie.
If I remember right, if I remember right, they were saying like he and some other players were like watching Joe Nunn's tape incessantly. Like they were just obsessed with how good of a player he was. So it's like it is really nice to see that kind of enthusiasm from a player.
Yeah, for sure. R.I.P.
I mean, it would take a lot for anything to go awry for the Cardinals right now. Because as it stands, I mean, we're the 2 seed. We're playing in the Nickelodeon Bowl. I mean, everything's fucking peachy. I want to fucking see SpongeBob SquarePants say touchdown Cardinals.
Everybody gets slammed when they score a touchdown.
I want to see Kyler Murray as the Nickelodeon valuable player.
The MVP. He already won the MVP in the regular season, so there's that fun fact for you.
Hell yeah. And then another thing, the Cardinals defense so fucking stout. I don't want to get too far away from giving them praise. To hold Deebo Samuel to 121 yards in 2 games this season. In the 6 other games Deebo's played, he's averaging 127 receiving yards per game. So the Cardinals defense, I know they didn't put Byron Murphy on him for the whole game. They were kind of mixing and matching a little bit. And, I mean, everything that Vance was throwing at him, they were getting to Jimmy. What did we sack him 5 times? So he didn't really have time to sit back there. So, I mean, that's the way you do it against some of these top wide receivers. You go and hit that quarterback early and often, they're going to start seeing ghosts.
Yeah, they were moving the ball effectively, and then it just kind of went downhill from there as the more he got hit.
It is really funny. The Cardinals have played so much better this year on the road than they have at home, and it's usually with every team it's the opposite. But like the point differential they have on the road is just completely unheard of.
Oh, it's the whole NFL. It's home teams are under 500 this season, which is crazy. I saw that Vegas isn't even doing a 3-point spread for the home team. It's more like a 1 point. They give the home team 1 point this season. For some reason, who knows, with fans back, the home teams are just not coming out like the road teams for some odd reason. I can't put a finger on it.
Maybe it's just taking them some time to adjust. I don't know. But as it stands, it's like a 94 point differential on the road, just completely nuts. I am loving everything that I'm seeing out there.
Yeah, I believe our point differential is still number 1, right? What are we at, 117? I was pretty drunk Sunday after the game, but I posted something. It was 107. We're plus 117, which is fucking nuts.
And if I remember right, the point differential we have is tied for the best after 5 road games since I want to say the 05 Colts. So I mean, the Cardinals are just, oh my lord, I love this team, man.
And I think this is a strong case for Cliff for Coach of the Year, if they haven't already put him on notice for that.
Oh yeah, I think that if anybody from the Cardinals is going to win that award, it's probably going to be, or win a major award, it's probably going to be him. Because with the other awards, because
I think some people aren't going to vote for Cliff, that college coach, fucking young guy.
Stigma.
He'd be least likely. Steve Keim will win something, his 3rd executive of the year.
If Cliff goes from 8-8 to 15-2 or 16-1 or whatever, then I mean it's indisputable. You can't give it to Mike McCarthy if Mike McCarthy goes 12-5 when Cliff is just right there. I mean, it's.
I think right now he has 2nd best odds, maybe 3rd best odds. But yeah, I mean he's gonna be right there.
Is that the media hates Cliff?
I don't think Kyler Murray's gonna get MVP. I think it's probably gonna be Lamar, or it's gonna be somebody who I can see the angle, but I don't agree.
I can see the angle, but it's they give Lamar sorry, Sanders, but they give Lamar so much credit for all these come from behind wins that it's they shouldn't be down that much all the time in the first place.
Yeah, it's like how Plummer had that reputation for leading the Cardinals from behind, and it's who got them there to begin with.
Yeah.
The shitty defense too, but what are you guys talking about? It's going to be James Conner MVP. I mean, let's be real here. He's got
Benjamin.
Right?
Benjamin's going to break that record.
There's something with James Conner, though. He's got 8 rushing attempts inside the 5-yard line this season. He's found the end zone on 7 of them. The guy's just a fucking touchdown.
Yeah.
Right? That guy, what can you say? And he's 10 for 10 on catching his receiving targets on the year as well, leading the Cardinals 100%. The guy can do everything. Just put him up there, fucking have him blocking for himself and shit.
Yeah, let's build him a statue outside the stadium.
After we win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I will fund it.
Okay.
Oh man, but I'm loving what I'm seeing. And you guys know me, man. Me being this optimistic.
The resident pessimist of the show.
The guy who is Well, I'm not at least I'm not John Skelton, Mr. 5-12. Holy shit,
Yeah,
man.
or some other shitty podcasters that had us going 8-9.
Yeah, I don't know how you could really look at this team and I don't know, after what they did last year prior to Kyler's injury. I mean, we were all kind of hopeful they'd build off of it, and a lot of fans. I was looking at my predictions. I put, Cardinals gonna be 10-7 on Twitter. What do you guys think? And damn near everyone picked like 8-9, 9-8. Only one person picked winning the division. So I mean, yeah, it was kind of all over the place, but.
Who would say 9-8? I can't think of anybody who would say that. That is so mean. That is so rude. Who would say that?
I know I listened back to our draft show, and I think me and Mac had us going 12-5.
Ooh,
And
I
then
remember
we
that.
changed it
Yeah.
to like 10-7.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
after Byron Murphy, a little bit, or
Yeah.
not Byron Murphy, who retired, whatever his name retired. Sorry, I'm trying to go through my notes real quick.
Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler, correct. Thank you. Yeah, after
And
he
I
retired,
remember we
we
thought
dropped
it
it down
was
a little
doom and
bit.
gloom.
Oh man, it feels like a million years ago, doesn't it?
It does.
Right.
I mean, it's such a different time.
Jackie, what I know we're just kind of going back and forth here, but what was the segment you wanted to introduce?
Oh, I wanted to introduce my new segment, Big Dick Player of the Game.
You're gonna have to say that again.
Big Dick Player of the Game. So we're basically every week I'm going to pick a player that had either a big game or a big moment in the game. This week was really hard.
Let it swing.
Yep, the Letting It Swing Award.
A dick
It's going
trophy.
to be a pair of nuts.
Pair of nuts.
I'm going to mail the winner a trophy of a pair of nuts.
So who wins the inaugural Big Dick Player of the Week
hard
award?
Because the candidates were Cliff Kingsbury, Colt McCoy, and James Conner. Or not James Conner, actually, but Christian Kirk for that touchdown pass. But,
Not James Conner, 3 TDs. He doesn't even get a nominee?
Honorable consideration.
She's imitating the national media. She's not even thinking about
it. But I'm going to give it to Cliff, actually, for that little exchange with Josh Norman.
Big Dick Cliff.
Big Dick Cliff. Ready to fight Josh Norman and then DeAndre Hopkins hyping him up.
I've never been so happy to see a taunting penalty. What a big dick move. I love him.
Exactly. Just letting it swing right in front of Josh Norman.
Yeah, when you're beating the other team's ass like that, that keeps your guys motivated right there when your coach is so enthused.
Then DJ Humphries was ready to fucking fight Josh Norman too. He said he was ready for him after the game.
Oh, he would have crushed him.
Yeah. That was the one justified taunting penalty this week. I said I wrote in the notes, Kingsbury gets a taunting penalty. Cliffy with the stiffy. Big Dick Cliff.
Yes, where everybody on Twitter is now stiff for Cliff again.
Yeah, it's funny how that comes and goes.
Yep.
Comes and goes like the weather.
Who would be against him? Never, don't even know. But yeah, man. I mean, if this is our peak with our backups being our primary starters, I mean,
sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sky's the limit.
Forget the sky. The mind is the limit. We can't even imagine it. We can't even imagine what this team can do at its fullest potential.
And you know what, too? What I had admired about this game, outside the Christian Kirk pass, we didn't have to pull out anything fancy. We didn't have to do any kind of trickery. Just anything fancy. We were just playing solid football.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
You love this. We just
just
smacked him in the mouth. Yeah, you went out there to play big boy football. You're going out there to try to win, Big Dick Player of the Week awards over here now. So the guys got some motivation. So, yeah, I mean, how could you not just love that game and everything that, from beginning to end, we coasted there like about halfway through the third quarter offensively, but we chewed clock up, excuse me, like we've done numerous times this year, where we have a lead and we just punish the front seven of the defense, and we just eat 5-6 minutes at a time. And that's how you win games in the NFL. People want to call it the air raid. People who never watch the Cardinals want to call it the air raid, but I mean, we've talked about it long enough now where it's an all out fucking pro run raid, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But we could put on our big boy shorts and fucking punish you and hit you in the mouth too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before we do pick 'em, I just want to give. I think we want to do like maybe a new segment as well called maybe Stats with Mac is back, but it's never been here, so that it wouldn't be back. But just Stats with Mac maybe. So play some cool music, Bobby. Yeah.
Get that ESPN Sports Center music going.
Hit that beat.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. So I'm just gonna read one. This is my top one right here. So I know nobody talks about him ever. I swear to God. But Robert Alford, just Big Dick Alford. That's he wins my award for Big Dick Player of the Game. Last 5 weeks in a row, because over the last 5 games, he's given up a grand total of 40 yards, which is crazy to think about.
5 games.
His last 5 games that he's played, he's given up total of 40 receiving yards. His first 4 games weren't even terrible. He was giving up 29 yards a game, so he gave up 112 or whatever it is yards total in the first 4, and only 40 yards in the next 5. So I just want to give him a shout out. Those guys, if you're not calling their name on defense, it's probably because of a good reason when you're a cornerback, probably. So just want to give him a shout out. He's been playing his fucking dick off. Big dick off. Thank you. And the music, Bobby.
All right, so you guys want to get into predictions now?
Let's get into it.
All right.
Who won last week? Was that Bo Bobbles by the tiebreaker, right?
Yeah, I'm still mad.
Bobby had a big week this week. Shout out to Bobbles.
Big week, Bobby.
I had some good bets there. I am the only one who had Atlanta over the Saints, if I remember right.
Did you?
Yeah, dude.
That's not very Jack.
Give him a lollipop.
Give him his popcorn.
Lord. Yeah, I was the only one. I mean, that's what I get for betting on Mike White, man. That's what I get for believing in the Jets.
Yeah, note to self, never believe in the Jets.
Yeah. I mean, you'd know all about it.
I feel like you said that before, Jackie.
Not I, said the fly.
But,
all right, what we got here?
Thursday night, we got a real stinker. We got Ravens Dolphins. Who you got?
Ravens.
Yeah, gotta go Baltimore.
Gotta be Baltimore. I watched the ending of that Dolphins Texans game just before our game came on, and it was the most miserable ending of a game I've ever seen.
Put those two teams out of their misery.
It is a. I mean, they were throwing. You could tell they were trying to do like a Hail Mary, like desperation play from like the 10, and he threw it to like the 30, and they barely even made it anywhere.
I saw something where it was like the first time in like the last 30 years or something crazy where
the Super Bowl era.
You saw that too, where it's 2 1-7 teams or worse facing each other.
Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah, I didn't believe it either too, but that's what they said on the telecast.
That's
I was
crazy.
watching some of that as well.
Jesus.
On the red zone.
It was just pure misery. I mean, it was awful. Yeah, the AFC is just terrible this year. I mean, I can't. It's like when Kobe and Shaq had to face teams from the East, and it'd be like, oh, I guess it's the Nets this year.
There's no really like great teams, but I saw something where more than half the teams are over 500. Might have been something like that. It was something crazy.
That doesn't feel right. That's like when you find out that ants can live for like 28 years.
So basically, whoever wins the NFC is just that's the Super Bowl will be the NFC Championship.
Basically.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Anything else after that's irrelevant. But yeah.
After that, you got a actually semi-decent game to open up your 1:00 slate on Sunday. You got Titans Saints. Who you got?
Oh, okay.
Holy shit! I'm just looking real quick. The whole AFC North and the whole AFC West are over 500. That's fucking weird. That's crazy.
Ugh, that doesn't feel right.
There's no like elite teams.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Titans are 7-2. We fucking showed them what a big dick really looks like. Am I right, Jackie? Am I right?
Yep.
I mean, the Titans.
How's that water tasting over there tonight, by the way?
Wet.
Moist. This beer is very moist. Thank you for asking.
Yes.
The
That's my favorite kind of beer. It's cold and wet.
And moist. Will's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Yep.
No, I'm ignoring it.
Sorry. What's this next game?
Was that?
What's this next game? Sorry.
Titans Saints.
Saints have a pretty decent defense, but I gotta go Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee is looking hot. They're looking hot against the Rams too.
Yeah, I don't trust that Saints team for a second, especially since the Titans looked really, really good against that Rams team. Like, I was the only one who had them picked.
There you go.
Titans in prime time are doing really well this year, but they're not playing in prime time. But Titans win. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, they made Matthew Stafford look like Detroit Lions Matthew Stafford.
To be fair, it's not that hard to do it. We did that.
Yeah.
That's true.
But after that, you got Bills Jets at MetLife. Who you got?
Well, nobody would have figured the Bills would have lost to Jacksonville last fucking week. Holy shit. Excuse me, but I don't think that's going to happen twice. I got to go Bills.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear to me that they let their guard down. It's got to be the Bills.
No, I'll say the Bills too. I'll pick a different upset of the week.
Nah, you wanted to.
I really did. I really thought about it, but I'm
you really need to tell yourself, don't believe in the Jets, huh? That's like a thing you need to wake up in the mornings and tell yourself, because you're always trying to get one over. I don't know.
Yeah.
After that, you got Lions Steelers. Who you got?
I want to pick an upset, but Lions still haven't won a game, so I am gonna go. Oh shit! Where's it at? Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
I hate. I'm going Pitt.
Fuck it. Let's go Lions. That'll be my upset of the week.
Wow, I'm gonna say Pitt. The Lions are down bad because, like, looking at the rest of their slate, they've only got like 2 winnable games left. They got the Bears and they got the Broncos.
Sheesh.
Whoa.
I could maybe see them sneaking one out in the final week if the Packers have nothing left to play for. But
and Jordan Love starts, yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, oh my God, that Lions team! I can't believe I had them as a dark horse in the. I mean, the year isn't over yet, so they could pull a miracle. But
and we roll along.
Lord, Colts Jags, real shit show. Who you got?
No, this is a divisional game. Jags coming off a big win.
Oh.
Do I do it? No, I'm going to say Colts.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to be a pussy and say Colts. Jonathan Taylor's going to run all over that fucking defense.
Yeah, I account for him, and it's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts, I mean, they feasted on some bad teams. They're going to do it again this week. Go Colts.
Yeah.
After that, you got Washington, Tampa. Who you got?
Jesus, all of these games are fucking chalk. I'm going Tampa.
Yeah, if the Washington had any other quarterback, I'd pull them for the upset. But it's like it's just dire for them. It's gonna be the Bucks.
Yeah.
After that, here's one that might be a little more tricky. You got Browns, Pats. Who you got?
Ooh, I'm gonna say.
I'm going Cleveland.
I'm gonna say New England.
Okay. All right. I
Nick
think I'm gonna
out.
I think I'm gonna go New England as well because it's like I don't know. It feels.
I think they're getting hot.
Yeah.
They kind of are, but the Browns look good as fuck without Odell as well, and they play really well without Beckham.
I hope they're playing in spite of him.
Right?
Yeah. Whatever team gets Odell is gonna be worse off for it.
Yeah.
But
Bobbles picks Cleveland with me, so we're split there 2-2.
After that, you got Falcons, Cowboys, the Dion Bowl. Who you got?
Woo-wee! Ah, fuck.
The Falcons
that
are getting kind of hot too.
Where's
The
it at?
Cowboys looked awful. It's at Jerry World.
The Cowboys did look awful.
That didn't matter last week.
I mean, they were down 30-0 at one point. I mean, that
They were
box
down
score was
until 5 minutes left of the game. Then they scored a couple garbage time touchdowns.
yeah, just an awful performance.
I'm gonna say Atlanta.
Ooh.
Atlanta's getting hot.
Damn.
Who you got?
Fucking A. I'm torn. I'm gonna go with Dallas, just so it didn't look like I'm copying Jackie, even though I had an A halfway written for Atlanta. It's fine. Who'd you get, Will?
ATLians rise up, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Split again. 2-2.
All right, open up your 4 o'clock slate. You got the Vikings, Chargers. Who you got?
Say the Vikings.
I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take that upset bet. I'm gonna go Chargers.
Okay.
After that, you got
they had that Baltimore game. They fucking packed that shit in. Fuck.
After that, you got a real stinker. You got the Russell Wilson-led Seahawks against presumably the Jordan Love-led Packers. Who do you have?
Fuck.
Bobby says Packers.
I'm going Green Bay too. Fuck Seattle.
Yeah, fuck Seattle. Let's go Green Bay.
You guys are insane. Jordan Love will never win another game. It's Seattle. Let's go Seattle.
Okay.
Do we know for sure that?
Not yet. He's got to have 2. Actually, he's got, a minimum of 10 days. Yeah, I don't know. He might be ready by Sunday. I'm not sure.
I mean, the fact that we haven't heard anything yet tells me it's probably not going to happen. But, yeah, Seahawks, easy money.
Okay, we'll remember that. I'll remember that clip at the 57-minute mark. Easy money, Will said.
Yep, you'll remember it after I win that bet. Anyway, 425. You got Eagles, Broncos. Who you got?
Ugh, that's
disgusting. No, I'm gonna say it's the Eagles.
I'm going Denver.
Oh wow, what a surprise! Bobby goes Denver. I'm gonna go.
Oh, Bobby loves his fucking Broncos.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I had I had Dallas Gobert and I had Boston Scott on my fantasy team, and they gave me 9 combined points. Fuck the Eagles. Go Denver.
Big Denver guy Will is.
Yep, him and Bobby live together in a 1-bedroom apartment in Denver.
Yeah. Smoking that cigarettos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm real mature. I've got the cigarettes. After that, you got a game that probably looked a lot better on paper before everything happened this season. Chiefs Raiders, who you got?
Ooh, I'm going KC. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Kansas City as well.
I'll say one thing. Those AFC primetime bouts, it doesn't matter what year it is. It doesn't matter what the situations are with those teams. They're always something. That being said, Chiefs, easy. But Monday night.
Bobby, you can't pick Denver again. Jeez.
Monday night, a game that probably should have been flexed to oblivion and just forgotten about for the rest of time. You got Rams, Niners. Who do you have?
Oh. Well.
Rams. Fuck it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the Rams.
I like beating my co-hosts and pick them, so I gotta go Rams.
Yeah, whatever.
I can't even.
Who's got the best record this?
Are we boring you, Jackie? Are we boring you?
Yes, you guys are boring me.
Well, with this slate of games, wouldn't you be bored?
We'll blame it on Bobby.
No, it's just the sweetest
Bobby
sucking the life out of me.
Bobby made this schedule. But
Rams. Are we all going Rams?
Yeah, no, yeah,
Rams.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Ugh. Disgusting game. But you know a game that's not disgusting? At 4:05 p.m., your Arizona Cardinals versus the country music listening, the Bojangles eating, the cookout eating Carolina Panthers.
Boo!
Who do you got? Who do you got?
The Cardinals.
Arizona.
Bobby picks 31-10.
I got 34-12.
Scoregami, huh?
Yep.
I've got.
It's gonna. I'm gonna say
26-6.
Oh, wow.
Let's go.
I'm gonna say 27-7.
Oh, what the fuck? You trying to say Price is Right? You can't just go one above me.
Yes, I
Oh,
can, motherfucker.
shit.
The Carolina Panthers are like me in rush hour traffic. They just can't get right.
Boo!
I
Oh, we're here for this is Will's segment, dad jokes. Let's go. Dad jokes with Will.
It is just so completely nuts that this team went from being the talk of the NFL to fans going on the radio talking about how they're going to bust out the Nike decades. It is just pathetic to see what Matt Rule has done to that team. And if the fact that he is not universally considered to be on the hot seat is a joke. That whole organization is a joke. There is no fan culture. There is nothing here. If you put a crater where that stadium used to be and wipe it off the face of the earth, you would barely tell the difference.
And they're signing Matt Barkley.
Yeah.
He's going to come save their season.
And they're not even starting him. PJ Brown is a worse quarterback than Matt Barkley.
PJ Brown.
I feel like they should have at least given Cam a call.
PJ Brown, I don't fucking remember his name. It doesn't even matter. We're going to forget his name by the next episode.
PJ Tucker, PJ Walker.
PJ Brown played for the Hornets back
in Don't matter. Cards by 25.
Yeah, yep. I mean, it's the fact that we even have to discuss this is a joke. This Panthers team is god-awful, and it would take a miracle, for me to have to eat my words come next Wednesday.
You're really testing fate, aren't you? I'm knocking on wood for your fucking ass.
I mean, we saw what this team can do with a second unit last week. This team
against a divisional opponent.
Yeah, I mean, against a divisional opponent. And those are the games where, divisional opponents are always supposed to play you harder than any other team would. This was supposed to be the maximum effort from the Niners, and it felt like they just were dead in the water.
Yeah, they gave up. I felt like they gave up in the first quarter.
If Strevler and McCoy are out by some miracle, and we have to give the ball to Christian Kirk to win us the game and throw us to victory, I still trust that more than I trust PJ Walker. The Panthers are a joke.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers scored 28 points the last 3 games. And then that's with their quote-unquote starting quarterback. So now you bring in a guy who's for 15 on the year and has more turnovers and touchdowns in his career.
And is below 6 feet.
Yeah, and then you got a Cardinals defense that's, pretty much as stout as it gets right now. They're giving up, 5.6 yards per pass attempt, which we talked about. And then the defense against the run has been stepping up as well. So everything just kind of seems like it's been, we're a well-oiled machine at the moment, and this is just a nightmare matchup for the Panthers, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the worst possible matchup for them. And it would basically take the Cardinals reverting to form from last year. Because remember, last year we fell victim to a lot of teams that look like this Panther team does. Those 3-6 teams that, for whatever reason, just can't win games. But then by some miracle, it's like, oh, yep, the Panthers beat us by 20, or the Lions beat us by a field goal. And I don't think that's going to happen this week. It would take just so many things going wrong for this Cardinals team to do that. And it's a lot.
Yeah, and especially when we're, creating turnovers the way we are. have been when we're going to be facing someone as inexperienced as PJ Walker. I'd expect more turnovers as well. I mean, we won the turnover battle against the Niners 3-0, and handily won that game. We lost the turnover battle 3-0 to Green Bay, and we barely lost that. But I mean, we've created 17 turnovers on the year. That's third best in the NFL. The Cards' offense has only turned it over 9 times, which is seventh best in the NFL. We score the second most amount of total points, I believe, and our D is third in the league in points per game against. So it's like, is there a weakness? Show me, because I mean, we're keeping, even though we've given up almost nearly 5 yards a rush, we're still top 4, I believe, in rushing touchdowns allowed. We've only given up 4 on the year, if I'm not mistaken. So I mean, you show me the weakness. I'd love to see it.
There's only really one thing that spooks me, and that's it's so minor that it's like it shouldn't, but I have reason to be spooked. Looking at our long snapper situation, the fact that Aaron Brewer's out and we just got a guy off the street, not a fan of that. I'm getting Cameron Canaday flashbacks, but other than that, it's like it feels right. I feel like we could start Colt McCoy again this week and not miss a beat.
Yeah.
It would take a lot going wrong for this game to be an L, and
Especially when you have James Conner there too. He ripped off a 35-yard run, a 45-yard catch. I mean, it's not just 10 yards, in a cloud of dust. He's becoming a big weapon, explosive weapon, and that's a dangerous thought.
If he doesn't make the Pro Bowl this year, then the Pro Bowl's a joke. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, he barely even made Jackie's Midget Player of the Week. Jeez, what's a man got to do around here?
He's front runner for a Big Dick Player of the Year. So
okay, I'm gonna hold you to it.
Yeah.
But oh
yeah,
man,
yeah.
It is so nice to be in this mood, man. It is so nice to be in this headspace and just think, man. Oh my lord.
Yeah, when your resident pessimist is just gushing over your team, you know you're in a good spot.
Right? I've heard 20 times tonight. Oh yes, just so good. So
I know. Good. What are you doing over there, Will? Shit.
They sound like my Tinder dates. But yeah, man, I'm legitimately hyped. Because, like, this stretch for the Cardinals is just absolutely money. Like, just the strength of schedule for the rest of the year. I mean, if this team isn't in the hunt for the 1 seed, if this team isn't the 1 seed, they're definitely in the hunt. Because the next 3 weeks, you got the Panthers, you got the Seahawks, you got the Bears. The Bears looked worse when they had Matt Nagy back. Seattle, we don't know if Russell Wilson's going to be back to form. And, I mean... It's nice. I love talking about this team, man. And it's
As
so
do
nice
we.
To be able to say that.
I'll speak for Jackie and say it's about damn time.
But yeah. Do you guys have anything? You want to say before we close out?
I do want to read Bobby's message to our group message. It says, "Editor Bobby is thankful we've gone from an hour and a half show to an hour long." Oh. So we got to find some other shit to talk about for the next 30 minutes.
Well, next time Bobby can hopefully be able to turn it over in one day instead of waiting fucking 2 weeks to fucking get it out. Just kidding.
We're kidding, Bobby. I know. I said we weren't going to rag on you.
It's just too easy. Love you.
Yeah, we love you.
I do have like one more question like to ask you guys, and this is a question that's going to come up later in the year, so I figured I might as well get out the way now. If this team continues its success, we're probably going to see at least one of our coaching staff go somewhere else. Who do you think is going to leave, and where do you think they're going to
go?
I'm going to say Sean Kugler. I don't know. I think Vance Joseph, I heard him on the radio talking today how it's got to be the right job for him. He's not just going to take a job because you don't get a third time really in the NFL. So I was listening to the radio and they made a good point. They think that he's probably going to get a pretty damn hefty raise to be one of the best defensive or highest paid defensive coaches in the league. And I think that would be a wise thing. You don't really want to break that up right now. I'd be I'd be pretty upset if we lost Vance, which is crazy to think. Where how far we've come. Just 2 years ago, we were all wanting them out of the door. So
It's night and day as to our mentality for this team. I mean, it's completely nuts. As for me, I'd really like him to stay, but I do think if he's going anywhere, it's probably going to be Chicago. Him and Khalil Mack just feels like a really ideal fit.
It does, but I feel like Chicago needs to get someone to develop Justin Fields. So I don't know if they want to go with a defensive-minded coach. So I hope
the last time they got a offensive-minded, and usually you go back and forth. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like they need someone to go in there and get Fields rolling. But yeah, I can see Sean Cougar leaving.
Yeah, I don't know for what necessarily. Maybe an offensive coordinator position. I don't know if he's ready for a head coach necessarily, but I feel like that's something like the Lions would do. Go from fucking Dan Campbell to fucking Sean Cougar. We'll see.
Yeah, that's all I really want to ask at this point, because it's like I feel like I've covered basically everything.
Or who's that coach? That Mark Whipple? Or who's that? The
Whipple.
Yeah, he could be. He could definitely be a candidate for an offensive coaching position. Yeah, coordinator job. Thank you. So yeah, that's somebody definitely keep an eye. He might be even more realistic than Sean Cougar, to be honest.
There is one more thing I want to add. Just
Bobby's like, come on, what the fuck?
Bobby's just like,
I want to watch my Broncos highlights.
He's so infuriated. I did like seeing like some of the just the way we subverted expectations with play call. Like the broadcast said early on, I don't think we're going to see a lot of design QB runs this game. And it's like, yeah, no shit. And then later on in the game, you see Colt running around. You see, at least some running, and it's like,
oh yeah,
I like that. I thought that was really neat. I thought that was a really good. I thought that was a really good. I can't pay attention.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, he definitely seemed more athletic than what I remember. He was able to be mobile, and he got down when he needed to, and extended plays, and it was everything you could really ask for. It was like the perfect backup quarterback spot start. If he has to go again, I think we're all behind him.
My sister texted me. I was driving home from work, and she goes, "Colt McCoy," with like exclamation points. I'm like, "What happened? I'm driving." And she goes, "Nothing in particular. I'm just saying, like, he's just running around, making plays. He's just doing it."
We need to give him that bag so he doesn't become like a Scott Mitchell.
Yeah,
I'd love to have him back. But, yeah, I mean, that's basically all I have to say about that right now. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to add before we close out?
I'm good.
No, thank you guys all for tuning in. We appreciate it. We do it for the people. So shout out to you guys.
We do it for the people.
Cards Nation.
Shout out.
Redbird Redzone's for the children, baby.
Yeah, thanks for making us the 117th best Cardinals podcast in the East Valley. So we appreciate that.
No.
We love you guys.
The best Arizona Cardinals podcast in the universe, baby. But this has been the Redbird Redzone podcast. My name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing.
My name is Jackie. You can find me on Twitter at JSanDiego with 2 O's.
And I'm Mac. You can find me on Twitter at AZSportsFiend. That's FIEN.
This has been the Redbird Redzone podcast, a Max Hall production. Do not reproduce unless you pay me, bitch. Peace.